Uh-oh, I've got no background. You know what that means? Although also the title of the video should tell you what I'm doing. So following on from the previous cannabis-based products for medical use, I always get confused. But yeah, following on from that video when I was talking about being on the oils and everything like that, there was a discussion, which I might have mentioned last time, I can't remember, about potentially adding vaporizers for the dried flowers. And now that is something that I have, and I wanted to give my thoughts on that as, like I say, as a follow-up to let people know what it's like, basically. So for me, I have Cura B2, that's what the strain is officially called. It's based upon the AC/DC cookies blend, which seems to be quite good for me. I got it a couple of weeks ago as of me recording this. It might be a bit later by the time it goes out. But I was curious about it, and it isn't, I want excuse to smoke weed. It's still illegal to smoke dried flower or whatever in this country, but you can vaporize in a device that's suitable. There are certain ones that are, agreed they're actually good for medical use. And one of them is the Mighty Plus. The Mighty Plus Medic is the specific variant for medical. It's branded separately slightly. But it's an expensive piece of kit to get normally. It's over 300, I believe, if you buy it individually. There is a reduction if you get it through Sapphire like I've done, because obviously, it's a way to get your medicine out to you, but it's still an expensive piece of kit. You're going to have that outlay, unfortunately. But I've now got into the swing of it. I use the dosing capsules instead of actually putting the product into the filling chamber, because there is a filling chamber in the top there, which, as I say, I've got the dosing capsules, little metal things, and it just means that I don't have to clean the insides out. I'm just going to put that down. But it means I don't have to clean the insides out every single time I use it, and potentially have a build-up of flower and oils. I mean, I will still have to give it a clean because some of the oils will come through. But it's really good, just what you get with it. You've got like a grinder, you've got a brush and everything like that. You have a magazine of dosing capsules, which I pre-fill. Separately to that, I have ordered, and it's sat by me, a filling kit, which is so calming to use. In fact, it's actually probably more calming than the actual product in some ways. But you've got like 40 holes. You can put 40 in at once. It comes with 40 capsules as well. And you just grind your product. It's also got scales in which you didn't have before. And obviously for controlled dosing properly, you kind of want it measured out. My scales downstairs don't go into decimals. So I knew I needed a scale at least to make sure I was dosing properly. So I've done that, measure it out. I can do it, just blah, 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 grind it up, put it on the thing, and you've got a little spatula to guide it into the holes. I normally just do 5 at a time. I don't do the whole lot. But yeah, like I've learned how much is good. The first day that I was in college and used it, I overdid it. By the last lesson, I was zoning out. It was not a good thing. But I've adapted to it, and now I know a maximum of 2 puffs probably per break if I need it. I mean, the idea is with that, compared to the oils, where it's meant to be a constant amount in the system, this will be, I'm having a flare up. My hips are suddenly going, I don't like it. I do get that sometimes during the day, which is why I said it might be a good idea, because then I can keep a top up of, substances in my system to help me deal with the symptoms. And yeah, I do think it's very beneficial, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more progress over time. And I mean, there was the discussion of, is that particular strain good for you? And I'm like, well, I'm going to trust your word for it. You are a professional, you know what you're doing, you're prescribing this stuff day in, day out. If you think that's suitable for my needs based on my conditions and what we're looking at treating specifically, fine, I will happily take that. So like I say, I'm going on their guidance, but I had a look, I found that specific variant, because you can look on Leafly and things like that and get an idea of the strains, but their specific one, there is a site that has all of those. So I've looked and kind of like, maybe, if I want to try something different, I could ask for that next time, or so on and so forth. But I think it's best, if something is therapeutically beneficial, keep to it. Because then, I mean, it's like I said in the meeting that I had, like this virtual consultation. If I start at, the highest dose, like with the oils, if I'd have gone straight to the highest dose, then once I, build up a tolerance, there's nowhere for me to go. But now, with this, I can build up a tolerance, and sometimes, sometime down the line, I may need, obviously, more. I might need a whole capsule in a day. A whole capsule lasts me longer than a day, so far. But like I say, it might become, a capsule is not enough to last a whole day. I might need 2 capsules in a day, etc., etc. So it's maybe like look at a different strain that might be a bit stronger, so I can actually reduce the amount that I'm using, so it's more cost effective. Because that's also a factor. Because this is private, and I mean, we still have to pay for prescriptions, even with the NHS, but I have a prepay certificate for that, so I just pay a certain amount every month, and I don't have to pay each time I request more drugs. That sounds wrong. More prescribed medication. But with this, it is a private prescription, so it's a lot more expensive. It's a lot of an investment. I'm not going to lie, it's costly. Based on what a friend of mine told, it's probably not that much different to street value. So, it's not like I'm saving a massive amount, but I know that I'm doing it legally. I've had moments of gloating, just like, haha, I'm doing this legally. But, it's like any medication. I've done it sometimes. I've gone into college and, my leg's been in pain. I've been like, well, I've got codeine in my bag, I'll take one so I can get through it. It's no different. It's just the fact that the substance itself, in most situations, shouldn't be used. So, obviously, if I gave other people a go on it, that's illegal then, because I'm supplying, technically, a controlled substance. So I can't really do that, unfortunately, but, it's a thing. It's a tool. It's to help me get through. And, alongside all the other stuff I've got to help me get through college, it's fine. At some point down the line, I'm going to be looking at possibly moving off the pharmaceuticals as well. I might sort of look at that, obviously with medical guidance. I'm not going to just filter it down myself. I am going to follow a process and sort of go down in steps so I don't obviously get issues of sudden withdrawal, etc. And I may do a follow-up again, maybe if I'm completely off pharmaceuticals, see how I feel then. But yeah, I just wanted to keep you updated, and this has gone a bit longer than I intended, probably because I'm under the influence right now anyway, because I needed a puff earlier. But yeah, keep an eye out for more updates on my journey, and yeah, let me know if you're a medical cannabis user. Let me know your thoughts. If you tried this device, if you tried this strain, what works for you. Just in an information sharing way, not in a gloating or yours is terrible. It's like whatever works for a person is whatever works for a person. And I don't, again, try to discourage the people who are just into the recreational use. Like I don't disagree with recreational use, but that's not what this is for. But yeah, thank you very much for letting me talk about that a bit long, like I say. And yeah, until next time, thanks a lot. Take care.